What is up? Good morning. Ohayou gozaimasu. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. We're hitting it. We're here. We're here. Today there's supposed to be 3 other arm moves, but we're not doing them for recovery. So I might do something else. I guess it just kind of depends on the time. So otherwise we're only gonna have 4 exercises today. We'll go for it though. That'll be the big difference today. We'll go for it. Let's see. Let's get this guy going. Here we go. ICANN has cheeseburger. Now you can see everything over there. Let's see. OBS bot. Gotta turn on the wide camera. Get that all connected. Right. Wide. All right, let's see. We there yet? We there yet? Can you see me? Tail air. El gato. Tail air. There we go. Hello. That looks pretty good. All right. Let's get the other lights on. And go. A lot of pushing today. I wonder what we can do. Maybe the other 2 exercises can be like arm rehab. So we'll see. See what we can do. Oh, let me get my shoes on. Do you lift in slippers? Or the Mike Israetel Crocs? Come on. Oh, gotta get the screen up. Gotta get the screen up. What are you even doing? Do you even train, bro? How can I see things? Forever unclean. Let's see. What do we have? Does that make sense? Oh, dual handle lat pull down. That's what it is. Oh, the TV was off. Cool, bro. Leave it to Beaver. There we go. Tomb Raider 96. What's up, dude? Don't tell anyone. This is I have a secret identity. I want to keep it secret. Secret identities never made sense. It kind of is fun as a kid hiding things from your parents, but like it doesn't make any sense. And everyone ends up dying. And dear goodness, Peter Parker's obsession with his Aunt May. I get it. She raised you, but like, I'm gonna let the world fall to pieces so that Aunt May can survive. It's pretty silly. Peter Parker's pretty silly. He's like a mama's boy. How you doing, Tomb Raider? Welcome in. It's Friday. I hope you have a great plan for the day or weekend. I could pick this up. I'm just going to be lazy and roll it. There we go. Jean Grey knows a thing or two about death and resurrection. Yeah. The Phoenix stuff was fun. I think the first I saw that was probably in TV, and then we got the comics. All right. The Dark Phoenix. They should bring that back. That was fun. The Entity. Actually, they did, and had like all the characters be possessed by the Phoenix, I think. I feel like at one point we had like Scott Summers is the Phoenix. I was reading comics when that happened. Let's see. Dark Phoenix so far has had 2 live-action movies, live-action films. So I need to go up probably like 4. Is it all in the same series? I can't remember. Friday and Saturday are miserable work. Oh, I'm sorry. Can it be positive? Can you cognitive behavioral therapy your way through it? Tell yourself it's going to be amazing. And then actually have it be amazing. Is that possible? Can we do that? Alright. We're switching over to overhead barbell press. All right. Roll some movies up for 1, 2, 3, 4. Get a little bit more stretch. There you go. Okay. I have overhead press written somewhere. I gotta write this down. See where we're going. Alright. We're gonna get this other one in here. Maybe I could like do some dips. Dips could be good. Tricep and chest. Something to push. Since I can't really pull and do much with my arms. My left arm, I've got some injury in the bicep and forearm, so I'm trying to go a little bit easier on them. Let's see. Guess I could go in front of me with the overhead press. That's kind of close. It's kind of close. Let's see. Oh, I guess I could turn around. Do this reversed. Okay, let's try that. There we go. I'll do some stuff and things, right? think. Yeah, I had been doing some volume, just a little bit of volume on the biceps, but it's still hurting and maybe even hurting in a new way, so I just need to chill out. Ooh, what's the minimum amount of pure gold? An Olympic gold medal? At least 6 grams of pure gold. That's interesting. But for a silver, you don't even need 1 gram. They're like, we don't care about silver medal winners. All right. That's probably good. Figuring it out. It's not warm up here. Get that heat down there. All right, let's just see. Probably too far. I like that. You go a little closer. Cool. That'll be good. See if I can keep my arm from falling off today. All right, 12 of these. Nice and slow. A little pause at the bottom. Whew. That was only 10. Why is this hard? 50? 45 is 95. All right, one superset down. You and the captain make it happen. That gets you heated up. That'll get you nice and warm and fuzzy on the inside. All right, let's see. Here, money milling. Seated DB shoulder press, which we're not doing. Seated barbell shoulder press. Let's take a look. Brah. What's up, Joe? Cool runnings. How you doing, dude? Did you guys get shitty snow recently? We got shitty snow. It's kind of almost gone, but still we got shitty snow. Like, what the heck? Smooth control reps. Pretty close arms. Okay. Got it. It was Tuesday that we got it. So Tuesday it was like, you're gonna get 1 to 3, and then Tuesday came 1 to 3 inches, and then it updated to, you're gonna get 6 to 10 or 10 to 15. I don't know, we probably got somewhere in between 3 to 5, luckily. And then it's been warm, and like next week it's supposed to be 70, so we should be all right. But damn it, it's like the bane of my existence. Snow in April. Come on. How's your prep going though, dude? I had that fast, which was fun, and it made me think about like competition prep. Like how, you know, whatever that last little period of time is for competition prep, losing weight, you know, really low calorie diet. Like, oh yeah, you could drop a lot of weight right there at the end. That'll be good. You watching Eclipse? Yeah. My kids will be in school, and so they have glasses and stuff. I was thinking, like, I probably should get some glasses so I'm not staring at the sun. I don't know. Is it bad to stare at the sun? Like, we're getting, like, what are we getting? Are we getting, like, 91% coverage? Somewhere in the 90s? I don't know. But it's, you know, it's still super bright, but it should be pretty cool. I don't know. What about you guys? One of my business partners is actually going to Texas to see the total eclipse. Total eclipse of the sun. How's life post fast? It's good. I mean, my weight's back up. It's funny. I'm only a couple pounds down from my top weight. Like, as soon as I started eating again, the body's like, okay, hold on to everything. Don't let anything go. And it doesn't help that I had like 3 days of like overeating. Probably shouldn't have done that, but it's Easter. It's what we do. I can fast after Germany. Or rather, I can cut after Germany is what I'll do. Because not this Saturday, but next Saturday I'll be leaving for Germany, and I think I'll probably try to dial my calories down just a little bit and try to stick close to those. But I do want to eat and enjoy my time over in Germany. I'll probably just like eat protein and then have some meals. So not try to do any other carbs or fats on any other with my proteins. So that I'm hitting protein, but then I have a lot of calories left over for whatever we're eating in Germany. You driving? Oh, dude. Is that... Does it actually go into Canada, or are you coming down to the States? I can't remember. I saw... I don't know, whatever that path is. It's going to be so nasty busy. Yeah. It is going to be crazy. They're like, expect to wait in traffic. Which, I mean, I don't think this will happen again. Or maybe it'll be back in Wisconsin. I can't remember which. For like 80 years or 70 years or something. So, dude, you guys being so close to totalities and stuff. No big deal. 105. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. 50, 95, 105. Just, I guess, slowly going up. I mean, as long as you're like, hey, it could take us hours to get out of here. Like, as long as you understand that, should be fine. It's almost like a once in a lifetime thing. 2045. Yeah, there was something to, maybe it was like Wisconsin. The next time Wisconsin gets one is in 40 years. Probably pull over the highway, take off when it's over. You and everyone else. Is it, I don't know, actually know where it's going. Is it coming by you, Eddie? Is it gonna be nuts there? I'm gonna go back just a little bit more with this. There we go. That's better. Try not to stress about little things when I'm on prep. There's C97 100% has been deemed by my brain as little thing. Yeah, I mean, it's still gonna be cool, even though like 1% sun is like daylight. But to see something, like, I don't know. Like, is it going to make your life worse to have not seen it? 0%. 0% will anybody's life be worse. It'd be very cool to see it, of course, but... Alright. 12 of these Mama Jammas. So I added 10. They're at 105. Cool. Yeah, are you still, I know last time you were talking about five pounds down. Are you still going to go for that? And how many weeks out are we now? It's kind of fun. Very fun to be able to do something like that. Rocky. Yo, dude, thanks for coming in and hanging out. We're working on it. Snook! Was that a resub? Thanks, dude. Let's see if I can do some pull-ups. Thanks for that resub. Yeah, my left arm, my bicep, and my forearm, I've been trying to go easy on it, and it's still not healing, so I'm basically going like off. Like no, not really any flies or curls. Thanks, dude. Much appreciated. True totality will last 4 minutes, 27 seconds. Yeah, who is it? Somebody is selling chips. Somebody's selling like Sun Chips, maybe? Sun Chips has like their totality chip or something coming out. They're selling it during the totality. So like you're supposed to miss the thing and go buy chips or something. I don't know. Like, okay, bro. Good marketing plan. I mean, it's good to say that, but like super impractical to do it. What are they even thinking? I like that your answer, Eddie, was like, of course it's coming through Texas. Everything happens in Texas. I'm in Texas. That's how I imagine you said it. Of course it's coming through Texas. Of course. Duh. It's Texas. How could this total eclipse miss Texas? We're Texas. I mean, you haven't seceded yet. You haven't seceded yet. Just saying. Until that movie, Civil War. I'm American, don't shoot. What kind of American? Ruh-roh. Let's see. Dual handle lat pull down. Pull this up over here. Oops. Come on. There we go. Pause. Little angle. All right. A little lift. Let's see. Give me the text. Mix of Latin mid traps. Latin mid traps. Got it. Supposed to go to the Austin this weekend, but who knows if that will happen. Yeah, it's probably going to be pretty crazy around there. Just to be a big city by where the eclipse is. Or the totality. The totality. That's pretty cool. What they say, it's like 100-mile wide. The totality. So, you know, Snook, you might have a good luck finding somewhere in that 100-mile stretch where there's not a ton of people. I gotta raise these up a little. You raise me up. There we go. We'll go up 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4. There we go. The totality. You're just hoping it's not cloudy. I know. That sucks for people who are traveling and then it's cloudy. Like, I feel like there's a good chance of cloud. But apparently, the way that thermals and weather works, like, eclipses often clear up clouds. Something to do with a quick cooling because the sun is covered up. So that'd be cool, even if it is cloudy, if all of a sudden the clouds just part and you get the totality. But would you be able to see? You kind of want to go where there's like little light pollution, I feel like, right? Does that play into it? Oh. August 12th, 2026. Nice. Just follow all the eclipses. That could be a fun way to vacation. Like, I only vacation for eclipses. Eclipses. Eclipsi. Okay. It's getting a little warm in here. Yeah, my buddy is traveling to Texas. They're doing like a whole road trip and seeing a bunch of other things and then seeing the totality, which should be good. And they have their trailer, so I don't know if they're planning on camping where they can see it or not. Ah, you've learned about it because you're a science teacher. I see, that makes sense. Yeah. Something vaguely sciencey is happening. Tell me all about it. You're like, I teach frogs in, I don't know, potassium and water experiments. Yo, thanks everyone for hanging around through the ads. Your support during the ad breaks keeps the stream alive. At least makes it viable. All right. Overhead press 125. So 10 on each side. Let's go. Joe, did you ever say where you are in prep? I feel like since I've been in pretty heavy cuts before, doing prep like that would be easier maybe for me. But maybe I'm off. You know, eating at whatever 1800, 1600 calories, which is crazy, which I've done before. Sustainably. It's actually a little bit easier for me to eat in a cut, calorie-wise, than to get the right nutrients when not in a cut. Like, that's almost a little bit tougher. Yeah, it's still like numb. My skin here, which is weird. Don't know what's going on there. Okay. I've been listening to some good podcasts from Joe Rogan. He had Mark Zuckerberg on and Neil deGrasse Tyson. Those are fun. Neil likes to talk a lot, is a little manic, and likes to talk over people. It's kind of hard to listen to him. He's very passionate, but it's nice because he admits what he doesn't know and what he's not super familiar with. So that's a good listen. And then Zuck. It's kind of fun to listen to him just geek out and talk about what he's interested in and what he's hopeful for and things like that. There was a couple ones in there that talks about doing unique things even though they're not profitable. I'm gonna probably clip it and put it on TikTok, but there's some good content in there, some good tips from successful people. It's what I said too. Like Joe's like, if you had all the money in the world, what would you do? You know, and how can you do that without having all the money in the world? Which is easy for rich people to say, but still, it's like a mentality that differentiates one business from another. Come on. Not having machines is so frustrating. I feel a little bit in my forearm, so we're stopping it. If I had all the money in the world, it wouldn't work. I would spend money. That's impossible to do without all the money in the world. That's not a true answer, though. Like, of course you would work. You would do something that you enjoy. Like, work was made for us, so it's important for us to do work. It's why you see rich people actually doing other things. Typically, it's more foundational, more big picture scope type deal, but, you know, as opposed to working in a factory. But work is good. Hobbies and dopamine filled activities, things that require money. And you would spend money. But to what end? Just to buy things? Like, that's not fulfilling. That lasts for one dopamine hit, and then you're over it. That's why we have hobbies. So what hobbies would you do? Looking at it with no glasses, as little as 1 second of exposure, looking at the clips can create lasting damage. Why is it any different than looking at the sun? Like, I feel like I've looked at the sun for longer than a second, and I'm not blind. So why is looking at the eclipse, which is less sun, more damaging? Like, that doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. All right. Let's see how many of these we can go. Concerts, travel, festivals, buy better gear for all my hobbies. Gamble, look for unique experiences. Yeah, how can you look for unique experiences without a shit ton of money? Or can you buy gear on eBay? Get stuff secondhand and build it up. Like, obviously there's a scale difference of what you could do. But if those are the things that you've identified would make you happy, you should try to do them now. It's just being thrifty, the low or no cost style that we all have to go through. All right. How you wouldn't do that with all the money in the world? Your money will just make money, so why would you work with large net worth? Bye, followers and viewers. I think maybe we have different descriptions of work. Like, you think of work as something that you don't want to do in order to, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't want to put words in your mouth. Things that you don't want to do, but you have to in order to support your family. I see work more generally as things that you do so that you can provide for your family their financial well-being and their mental and spiritual well-being as well. So all of it, as well as your own. So for instance, like this, working out in the gym, I consider work. And streaming, I consider work. Also, it is extremely fun to me and very fulfilling, and I also consider it a hobby. So, same thing with my day job at the agency. Like, there's making donuts that is annoying and that I like less than other stuff. But I always work on figuring out, okay, how do I make this enjoyable? How do I even make the least fulfilling task enjoyable? So I think I just have a different perspective on what work is. So if I had all the money in the world, I would just have less anxiety over making ends meet, but I would still want to do all the things that I'm doing right now, you know, just perhaps in slightly different quantities. Like, I would hang out with the family more, which I should work on doing now, you know? I mean, the work of the home, of being a husband, of being a father, like, that's all work too. Like, there's no way I wouldn't do any of that stuff if I had all the money in the world. Again, I would do all the stuff I'm doing now, just maybe in different quantities. So right now I can work towards doing them in the right quantities that I want to do them. That's a forearm killer. So you think everything in life you do is work rather than it makes money or not? That sounds, I mean, look up classical definitions of work, and maybe that'll help you have a better understanding of it. The only factor is money, and you either can get money or you can't. So you want to do things that cost money, go make more money. Isn't super viable advice. That's not what I said. Where's tabs? We got to encourage people to listen around here. That's not what I said at all. I said, right now, since we have less money, we figure out how to do things that we want to do on a low or no cost way. What's up, Zach? You would not consider working out to be work. It's a hobby, so it makes $0. Working is exchange of time for money. It's not. Okay, it's not more damaging. Looking at the eclipse, it can happen anytime you look at the sun. Okay. Yeah, I feel like I look at the sun all the time. So you just think everything in life you do is work rather than it makes money or not. That sounds insane. Just living life and doing things you want to do is work. Wow. I mean, that's just such a nebulous thing. 3 alternatives to do for fun. No, Snook is complaining that everything is hard and work sucks. And if you had money, you wouldn't want to work. What I'm saying is there's dignity in work and enjoyment in work. And some work you get paid for, and some work you do not get paid for. But work is things that you do for the betterment of your life. And in some cases, you get paid. And in other cases, you do not get paid. Like the work of the family or the work of a husband. I don't get paid for that shit. But it's good work and it's important work to do. All right. Yeah, see, I work so that my day-to-day life is what I want it to be now instead of dreaming for the future. I certainly have goals, but I want to live the best life that I can right now and enjoy everything that I can right now. And then ideally, when I do have money and less requirement on a salary or something like that, it looks a little different, but you're bet your britches I'm still doing all sorts of work. I'll even do, you know, maybe more work, more movies, more stuff like that. Like that shit takes a lot of time. I can't imagine a life where I'm like, I'm rich, I'm just not going to do anything except indulge. I mean, the Romans tried that. And it works for a hot minute. All right. Far enough forward. When someone doesn't feel the fulfillment of said work, yeah, that's tough. And I think that's a challenge that we all face, I face, is like when you have work that doesn't feel fulfilling, like how can you change your perspective so that it is fulfilling? Or change the work. You know, something's got to give. There's a reason our parents' generation could work somewhere for 40 years and find contentment, not because janitorial work is innately fulfilling, but because they were able to find fulfillment in it, in serving their family needs or serving, you know, their overall goals. Got it. What would you do if you had all the money in the world? He says all the things he does at work, so he keeps working. I consider those things hobbies. There's a reason you wear glasses. Could be. It could be that I look in the sun. and it's destroying my eyes. I just hear stats like that and I'm like, yeah, I've definitely looked at the sun for a long time. What's the stat you said? Where is it? I mean, I'll have my kids. I mean, we'll get them. I don't know where it is. But the percentage of damage, like, look at the sun for 1 second. Look at the eclipse for 1 second and you die. Like, I haven't died yet. There's 3 things you can do with work. Spend it, save it, or give it away. Oh, with money. When someone doesn't feel the fulfillment, makes it sound like we are just inherently made to work and make us sound like ants and not people. That's interesting. Yeah, it's the opposite. Work is made for us. So there's a fulfillment in work because it's made for us, not us for work. Unless you're kind of in the Bill Gates camp, in which case he's like, I need to have everyone be workers and cogs in the machine. Work towards changing it over time. You're saying make the best of your situation, but at the same time, you're saying change your life circumstances greatly. I'm trying to figure out, like, I'm trying to understand your perspective. Like, are you saying you shouldn't make the best of your situation and that you shouldn't work towards your goals? Like, I don't understand what that means. Contentment and fulfillment are 2 different things. Settling and enjoying. Well, I would say that settling and enjoying are different than contentment and fulfillment too. Like, contentment being happy where you are, fulfillment getting to something. Yeah, I would say fulfillment is like even more fickle. Like, you get to something and you do something and you're like, yay, and it's over, and then, you know, then you're done. But finding contentment is something that can be continual. You have interview at the radio station. Oh, nice. Good luck with that. That'd be awesome. Like, if I won the lottery, I'm going to quit my job, do the things I want to do, which are definitely not work, but I guess it would be called work by your definition. Yeah. People go bankrupt, exactly. All the galaxy, all the money into more lottery tickets. I mean, if you're gonna invest smartly. All the money in the world would be my working. Would be to ensure that money stays that way, however that may be. Using money to hire people to make my money stay and grow. Yeah. Did you say we were made to work, or work was made for us? Work was made for us. Love to be able to hire or do stuff. You pay $6 an hour to the Philippines and get a virtual assistant. Can't even pay your bills, and there's no career path to switch into that will make that possible, because it seems my country is about to go to war. If I had millions of dollars, I would live drastically different, but you're kind of saying whatever it is you want, you can just go have without having millions of dollars. You can only really think like that if everything you have in your mind. You know, there is some truth to what you're saying about, like, the privileged perspective of, like, if I fail, I have a backdrop. Like, that is very privileged. However, like, some of the best people I know came from nothing. Came from a couple dollars in their pocket, no safety net. You know, they worked their ass off, got lucky breaks, didn't have family around them, but they figured it out, even if it took them 40 years to figure it out. Like, my mother-in-law and my father-in-law were, like, always so poor. They were so poor. They had, like, all their kids in, like, a 2-room house for, like, 20 years. And he did all the odd jobs he could. He would work down at the steel plant, then he would go janitor, and she would do janitorial, she would do sewing, she would do, you know, any baking job she could pick up. You know, they made it work, and I never heard them complain. You know, over the 20 years that I've known them, I've never heard them complain about being poor or being unhappy. And I've seen their happiness because they find contentment and happiness wherever they are. So what I'm saying is that it's important that we do those things to find contentment and fulfillment wherever we are, and we can still strive for something better. So those are not opposing things. And it is harder to do in many circumstances. I completely agree. Dude, even myself, like when we are running a tight budget, you know, and I have this to do and work out and hang out, I'm like, okay, well, that means I just have to stay up later to do other work because I have to provide the cash for the family. Bread press. And my wife was even like, hey, maybe I can pick up like some secretarial jobs at the parish or something. You know, try to pick up some odd jobs. All right, what did I do? I did 12 by 9.5. And if it wasn't working in the way that it is working for me now, I would pick up different jobs. And in the past, I have done that. And it's hard. And doesn't always feel great, but I think it's important to find contentment and joy. Okay, last one of these. Oh, that was tough. Oh. Remember they said not everything you do, even if it's things you want to do, is considered work. What isn't work? Do hobbies exist? Yeah, I mean, I would say hobbies are things that feed you mentally, physically, spiritually, in different ways, but you still work at them. What did they eventually do to let them have financial freedom? They got old and retired. Like once they retired, he started getting his full pension, and they got Social Security and something else. There's 3 things that they get, and now they make like triple what they've ever made, which is nuts. And the other thing is they were always generous. Like, even though they were working multiple jobs, they would always, you know, throw great celebrations for things. They would always give great gifts, thoughtful gifts. Like, never heard them complain about any of it. Oh shit, I gotta do this work. It's the last one. Content sounds too close to contempt. I object, Your Honor. Isn't it? That's actually a funny thing. Like, there's things like that in the English language that it just happens in our brain, and because of the association, we think a certain way, perhaps incorrectly, about something. Love your life, poor. Poor people don't get to retire. How insane that is. Pensions don't exist anymore. Inflation has made it so you can't afford basic needs. Even if they live poor, if they did in today's time, it'd not be the same result. I mean, I don't understand what we're arguing for here. Like, everything sucks. There's no hope. I can't do better. Like, that's all that I'm hearing. What's up, Trinjan? Love your life poor and finally better at a retirement age. I mean, I don't think you want to plan to always be poor, but you certainly want to fight to not be poor. I mean, we grew up poor, and it wasn't until my parents were older that my mom like went back to school, and then they had like 2 salaries. Like, I don't know. This idea that we should come out of the womb rich and not have to work for anything, and everything should be easy. Like, I don't know about that expectation. Like, what is the alternative? What is the alternative? And like, what is your perspective? Like, it sucks. Everything sucks. I can't do anything about it. And I want everybody to understand that. Like, we have 7 kids, and there was times early on when I couldn't make my budget. And so we had credit cards, and fortunately we had credit cards that, you know, had $10,000, $20,000 in limit on it. And we use those and we fill those up. And did I like sit around and I was like, you know, poor me, this is hard. I can't make ends meet. The world sucks, life sucks, everything sucks. No, I was like, I'm gonna enjoy this time where I am, who I am, and fight through all of this and work hard and do side jobs and get to a point where I can be more financially stable, where we can pay off that debt. I don't know. I guess just different philosophies to some degree. Like, if we tie happiness to money, we'll never be happy. Not all of us have parents. You see a lot of boomery things that don't align with the struggles of young people. Dude. That's hilarious. Pretty sure we're just saying stable, not that people should strive to be rich. Well, yeah, and don't strive to be poor. What'd Frosty say? What is this life if full of care? We have no time to stand and stare. There you go. Things have drastically changed in the last 5 years, and say things to invalidate you because they say you essentially don't work hard enough. Saying people are lazy even when they work hard, just because when someone worked hard 20 years ago, it actually made a difference. So you're saying that I don't work hard right now to get what I have, which I think is maybe unfair. Also, this whole like older people thing, like, I feel like that's a red herring to say you just don't understand my struggle. I think people do understand your struggle. You just don't want to hear, like, here's how I got out of it. Here's how I worked through it. You know, Like you want some silver bullet or something, but it's easier to say you don't know what it's like now. It's harder now. I mean, it's much easier now. My parents, when we grew up, we had to last on whatever dollars they had in the budget for groceries that week. So at the end of the week, when we didn't have money, like you're just eating whatever's left in the house. And sometimes that's like random shit. Like you might be able to make some bread for something and put some mustard, some bread and some mustard and shit. Like that's some poor shit. And you can't tell me like it's harder now, because like all banks have lines of credit, you know, credit cards, they give them out like candy, whether you should use them or not. But like we didn't have that back, you know, when we were growing up. So I don't think it's harder now. And there's more opportunities like to work online and do various things. There's so many more opportunities. So I don't buy that. I don't buy that it's harder now. Things are the same as they were 20 years ago. Hard work doesn't change. Like people are going to work hard or they're not, and the industry is going to be different. Like it's going to look different, but hard work doesn't change. Roof over your head, a car, and things that I can enjoy. Dude, Snook or Zach, they got to fix that shit. Okay. Yeah, cell phones, cars, the internet, like all these crazy luxuries. Overhead press. Okay. And there we go. Look at jobs and careers, how much they pay versus how much they paid 20 years ago, and then how much essentials cost now versus 20 years ago. The percentages are hugely worse for today in every situation. Acknowledging that is all that I'm asking. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to look at that. I'm happy to see that. I haven't seen, you know, what that is. There might be a greater disparity between the, you know, I think I've seen some figures on that, a greater disparity in wealth and income between, I don't know, the top 10% and the lower 10% or something like that. So I think I've seen numbers where that has been crazily stretched. And the question there is like, with our minimum wage being like $7 in many places, but in Madison it's effectively $15, $20. It's not, I don't think it's legal, a law, but it's effective. You know, that's where it gets difficult, because how can one person provide for an entire family and have a house on like $15 an hour? The answer is they can't, you know. More jobs to close the gap. Yeah, and jobs you can do remotely. Like my mom, so my dad was in the military, so he got paid shit. My mom didn't work, she stayed home, but then in night, she would go work at the gas station, and she drove the bus sometimes, and she did sewing projects, and then my dad did remodeling projects, and like they all were doing like 3 different jobs. Now, do I want everyone to do three different jobs? No. However, like until you've gone through that, like I've done that before. I've been working two kind of larger jobs and then some side stuff. Until you've gone through that, like I feel like that is what hard work is throughout time, you know? Like my parents, my grandparents, my dad's parents didn't have to have multiple jobs because they had a farm, so they could produce their meat and their crop, and they could barter and trade for other stuff. So then, you know, basically for clothes and equipment is what they needed money for, and they could sometimes trade and sometimes sell crop and, you know, do it for that. So that industry is a little bit different. I mean, we all wish to be that. So I think that's like what we're all trying to do. Helms Row. There's two ways to look at it. Either you can reach your goals, you can do, what you're trying to do, you can eventually be successful, or you can't. And it just sounds like you can't. Like you're convincing yourself that you can't. And my desire is just to have a perspective of can. Like, we can do this, I can do this. Especially when it's hard right now. And having that attitude is what's gonna make it happen. What's up, Fox? Need more income with no actual skills? Be a DoorDasher. There you go. Yeah, my brother-in-law, it was intense because you have to work a lot, but my brother-in-law was doing Uber and Lyft for a while. And he made a decent amount of money, and then he's like, yeah, I just don't want to do that. Do something else. I've come to talk with you again. I love it. The sound of silence. You want to be successful, you have to think successfully. Be indomitable. Read biographies of successful people, and I think you'll find what I found is that they are indomitable. They believe that they will get somewhere, and they don't stop until they get there, whether it's 10 years or 20 years or whatever, or a lifetime work. And they don't, acknowledging that times are hard and inflation's high, I'm not sure where that gets us, because you still have to overcome that. Like, we all have to overcome that. I'm living in the same time too. And you better believe I worked my ass off to get here, and I'm still working my ass off to maintain it. Because now I support 7 people, not my family, my business. And when sales are down, I have to go crazy, and work really hard, and still find happiness and contentment in that. But I'm not stopping, and I'm not I don't know how to say this. Again, look at the successful people. They're telling themselves they can do something and that they will overcome. They're focusing on the positive and the future and the goal, not focusing on how hard something is. I don't know. Yeah, got to get rid of that mindset. No room for error. Who is it? Ryan Humazy? I can't remember his name. Not Humiston, the other dude. Hormozy? That dude's I failed at 9 businesses before I had a successful one. And I think you'll see that. I'm trying to come up with an example. Who I was just listening to was talking about failing several times. I can't remember. Maybe it was Zuckerberg talking about other people trying with social networks and how they somehow succeeded. How to become successful instead of just saying everyone can with a pipe dream. What sort of avenues can someone actually pursue? Well, first you have to have a good perspective. Yeah, you have to have a good positive perspective. That's number one. Trial and error type of thing. I like your bumbles. Try the Christmas lights idea. Do that rover thing. Yeah, I feel like I've heard a lot of good snook ideas. Someone can't just tell you to do this business or that business. Results are person to person. To start a business, you need a new amazing idea that no one is already doing, or you need to do something better than somebody already is. I have no idea what I could possibly do. Start a business, you have to have something floating you while you're doing the same side. Success is different for everyone. Maybe what you see as successful means you do have more stuff to go there, so your unhappiness is because of material. Gotta get rid of this mindset. No room for error. You just have to be able to pick yourself back up. All I'm paying my bills though. You have to keep the full time. You can't just quit. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's what I did. I had a full time, and then I was building this business at the same time, and it was pretty brutal. And we still went on vacations. Exchanging my time for money doesn't seem like a successful business. It would have to be something that sells like a product, and I don't know. Understand what shit I need to make money to feed my kids. Looks like I gotta deliver some food and sell my Pokemon cards. Old school way of going to school, getting a nice career, and having enough money to live a middle class lifestyle, retire. I mean, why don't you go do that? Like, are you arguing for that? When in doubt, there's plumbing, electrical, and cutting hair. Dude, the trades? I'm telling my kids, I'm like, yo, you guys should go into the trades because you are going to spend less money in school or be paid to go to school. You'll be working right away, and you'll be coming out making, you know, $50,000 with no debt. And again, you know, at 20, be starting there. It's like insane. The trades are insane. And we can't even hire the trades right now. Like, I call someone and they're like, yeah, I could fit you in 3 weeks. I'm like, fuck, it's broken now. I need it now. That's not an option anymore. So, Snook, I don't know what the solution is, but I know that you need to have a different mindset. Like every time somebody suggests something, you counter with, but it's hard, but I can't, but it's not fair, but inflation. That mindset, honestly, that's what's stopping you. I think you have good ideas and you have drive and you can work hard, but it sounds like that mindset is what's holding you back. If you can change that, and then utilize your hard work and your ideas, because it sounds like you have good ideas. Don't let yourself stop yourself. There's no career that offers that anymore. Yeah, I don't know the difference in Canada or a place that has a much higher, was it income tax or federal taxes? Okay, decline bench press. Oh, let's get set up. Here we go, go on an adventure. But again, I think it's important to change that philosophy, to change that perspective. Like only if, you know, the only way it's going to work is if you tell yourself that it can work. And all I'm hearing is how it can't work. I know, so we should put rules in place so the 1% don't have all the power stacked in their favor. Yeah, that'll never happen. It's always going to be those with the money make the rules. It's never not that. The only difference with America is that we apologized for conquering. You know, no civilization in the past has ever apologized for conquering an area. But we're now in a time where we do that. I mean, other countries don't do it either. Like Israel and Palestine. You think they're going to apologize? Sorry, we shouldn't have tried to take your land and fight over this multi-thousand year beef for Ukraine and Russia. Now it's going off the rails. Shitballs. I mean, it sucks, and like, you know, now that we actually care about people's well-beings and things, and cultures, and keeping cultures around, and our differences, we care about diversity. I understand it, but it's a funny reflection. What is happening? Why? What is happening? There we go. I couldn't find the hole. Yeah. Perspective. I think you've got to change your perspective and have a positive outlook and say that you can do it and find ways to make it happen and not ways that it won't happen. Ugh. I think that's key. Also, my wife used to work overnight, so she would stay home with the kids, and then she would make wedding gowns. Like, I would come home, and then we'd do dinner, and then she'd start working about 8 o'clock, and she'd work sometimes until about 3 o'clock, making wedding gowns for people just so we could make ends meet. So I'm surprised you said my deal never happened. What happened to the optimism in my head if we change things at the local level? Slowly, but surely we can change things at the top because we'll have the right people in place. Dude, what happens to most liberals as they get money? What happens to most liberals as they get money? They get more conservative because they don't want to lose that money. They don't want that money to be taken away and used for things that they don't want it to be used for. So they get more conservative is typically what happens. And then how do you protect that? Well, you vote in a certain way and you govern in a certain way so that it is self-sustaining. Like, unless you go to socialism or communism, which works so great, you know, we don't have a good way for a Western capitalist society to be more equitable, except in a democratic republic, like ish. Like, it's the closest any society has ever had, but it's still extremely imperfect. He went from complaining about millionaires and just complains about billionaires. I mean, when you become one, then you have to have something else to complain about. All right. It's easy for us to say down here, it should be different. And I don't disagree with you that it should be different. I agree. I just don't know that without something like Neuralink, some fundamental change in how humans work, I don't see it happening. Or, I mean, some kind of revolution. Like, you gotta have something crazy happen. All right. But I'm optimistic that we can change things on a local level, that we can change things within our family, within our friends, within our community, at the city level. Like, I think we can improve things there. And is there a chance that trickles up? I'd say there's a chance. It's possible. Do I say it's probable? No, I don't think it's probable. I mean, have you ever been involved in politics on a local level? Like, it's the same thing. It's exactly the same thing. Like, you get some altruistic people and then you get people who know how to get stuff done and are connected to money. And it's those people who end up making things happen and making policies. What is going to happen as AI takes away most jobs without any way to displace those people, as there won't be any type of industry to provide new jobs, as we have seen with tech improvements in the past. I disagree with your premise. I don't think AI will take away most jobs. Just like Photoshop didn't take away all design jobs. Or factories take away all engineering jobs. Factories shifted manual labor. What's up? What's that? Sugar squares? I don't know. I don't know what they're for. I don't actually know what you're talking about. Oh, after we finish the other cereal. I think AI is a tool to enhance most jobs. It will likely eliminate some jobs, but as in all technological advancement, it shifts the workforce around. So I'm more on the optimistic side there. That's a crazy take. AI is definitely replaced. According to what? Like, look at any industrial revolution or technological revolution in history. There are replacement of jobs, but there's a shifting of the workforce, either to management or control or development or whole new industries. Like, back when we had factories, we didn't have the computer science industry. So to be like, no one's gonna have jobs because of factories, you know, was short-sighted. And same thing with AI. I wholly disagree. That doesn't bear out in history. The whole gig economy, like, how big is the percentage of people that make money driving, but when self-driving cars take over trucking taxis, what would take over that? Some jobs weren't such like blacksmith 150 years ago was a common job. You didn't do much work, especially a job with you. I'm sure someone said that exact. Yeah, as someone that works in tech industry, I can tell you that humans for a long time will have something to do to maintain the tech. And I mean, so the near future, we're not going to lose jobs. In the mid to longer future, there's going to be, more and more that AI can do. But this is what I encourage everyone now, like, become an AI expert in your field. Like, utilize whatever tools you can, whether it's just for writing or coding or image or creative or whatever. Learn to utilize that in your job, and your job will transform, and you can transform with the technology and not be left behind. Like, you know, if you're like, I'm not going to get into them computers. Well, that probably didn't turn out well for those engineers or those, you know, those people who said that. There's always new jobs, always new industries. There's no shortage of work. What are we going up to over here? 135, 185. You know what I hate hearing about? I hate like really successful entrepreneurs being like, I wish I wouldn't have worked so hard when I was younger. I wish I would have taken time for my health and whatever. And maybe that's how you're reacting to me. Be like, well, I can't take all that time because I have to work to survive. Like, I get annoyed when they talk like that. But I guess what I'm putting forward is like a microcosm of like, no, still work hard, but also find time for contentment and this other stuff. Guess we gotta wait and see. I don't know, you guys are all so hopeful and positive. What makes you be that way? Because being negative all the time sucks. Yeah, totally. Dude, it feels better to smile. It feels better to be hopeful. That is cognitive behavioral therapy. I've only read a little bit about it in The Coddling of the American Mind. And then I did a little bit more research on it, but I am like so in on cognitive behavioral therapy. It's a positive self-speak. Like, fake it till you make it. Imitation of virtue. Like, we have all these different pithy ways of saying it, but it's like, tell yourself you can do something and you will be able to do it, and you are happy and you will be that, you know? I don't believe in this idea of like physical manifestation, like will the future, will the job into being, you know, whatever. But in yourself, in a neurochemical way, you can absolutely tell yourself that you're going to be happy and it's going to be awesome and it will be happy and it is awesome, even though it's tough and we're struggling. Like, even though I couldn't, you know, in years past pay my mortgage and had to take out credit card debt and do other things, this is not the right work. All right, here we go. We gotta go. I got my gold ring on today instead of my silicone. Gotta be careful. Ugh. Same concept. People default to thinking about bad things that happen because the defense mechanism. Wait. If we focus on the positive, what could go right rather than what could go wrong? How to make a friend and influence people. Oh yeah. I haven't read that book. I think I own it. It's like one of those books that comes as a recommendation and I'm like, buy. And then I haven't read it yet. I'm going to pull that out today. Something you never heard me say. Haha. Yeah, so I mean, I was saying it a little bit earlier, but that's what I think. Like, we got to turn your perspective around, or like, in order to be successful, you got to think you can be. And, you know, don't focus on all the negative aspects, focus on the positive aspects. uh, uh, uh. What if a lot of bad things happen to you all the time? How do you see positive things? Be appreciative. You're gonna pay me $100. Nice to read it. What's up, dude? What? Some of it, not the whole thing. Show me how much you're gonna have. Yeah. So, like, everything I read from successful people and what I strive for is like that one step. So, I think you're focusing on the wrong thing. You're saying, well, I can't figure out the perfect thing that I can work towards, so I'm not going to do anything. But that's not what any of these creators, successful business people have done. Like Mark Zuckerberg with Facebook was like, oh, I think it'd be interesting to connect people. I'm going to put up this little website. He didn't think he was going to have a multi-billion-dollar corporation managing social sentiment and culture. It was just this small thing, like do this little social thing, this little social website. So like thinking about small steps is how you can achieve those larger things. But you won't know until you fail at a bunch of those small steps. And all I'm hearing is like, well, I don't know what the perfect product is, so I'm not going to try. Service, yeah, I mean, products, I'm a little leery on products unless it's digital products. You know, like until you can have a shit ton of money to fund a big product, products are hard. Whereas services and digital products are much more feasible. You haven't thought of an invention, because all I hear is like, I can't, it's hard. People are in food lines, inflation, you know, like just do the DJ stuff. Like try to find a problem, find one small problem and solve that one problem and share that, you know, like, and at the same time, do 9 side gigs. Like when somebody suggests something and then the response is, no, I can't, I won't, I haven't, it's impossible. Like you're never gonna actually try anything. Literally just moved to Texas. Yo, dude, I promise you, even if you move to Texas, the negativity is not going to work. Like, that doesn't work. What's up? What? Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, why stay in Canada if you don't have family or communities? I mean, obviously immigrating is hard, but also don't be fooled. Just moving to Texas or something doesn't solve your problem. You're not going to all of a sudden become this business guru. It'll be the same shit, just a different sunrise. I don't know. I don't keep track. You've done side gigs like other places. Let's set up for 5K marathon. Yeah. What's that? If you show me what it is. Yeah, my buddy did side jobs and wrote screenplays for himself for 20 years or so. And now finally, over the last 5 years, he's a professional screenwriter and writes dozens of screenplays a year and that's his salary. Awesome. I think that's a philosophical difference too. Like wanting to know, I want to know what's going to work and I want to do that, as opposed to trying a bunch of things. Like the reality is you just got to try a bunch of things and not stop until it works and be indomitable. And before you say, you know, that's a privileged perspective, like just look up stories of people like The Rock, anybody who came here, you know, with $7 in their pocket. Like a buddy of mine's dad came, he was a refugee from Czechoslovakia. He swam a river filled with crocodiles to get here. And he had no money. And now he's an extremely successful realtor. You better believe he didn't start rich, you know, and it took him 20 years to get there. Ah, you can't have that whole pack. Where'd you get those? Oh, those are mine. I don't want to open those. Don't you have Easter candy? Take some Easter candy. Why don't you get a stool and grab either some of my Robin's eggs or some of my Reese's eggs? You can have some of those. Get a Ziploc bag and then bring them down here and I can help you with them. Wait, what's that? What did I miss? Are you guys asking for treats in your lunch as well? I'll let you have some. Heard something about Celti in a marathon. Powered through these years and now doing much better for a number of reasons. Melissa said she's going to be able to do the Disney one. I wouldn't be negative when I can provide for myself. I mean, I think you'll be sorely disappointed if you show up and you know, still realize you have to work hard. Like, it's not just magic. I mean, I live here and I had to work hard. You know, I had to work. I graduated in 06. You know, I had to work hard for. Ooh, Robin's eggs. Or I'm gonna have a Robin's egg. There you go. 6.
Oh, 6. We didn't put 3.
6 is a serving. Lobby me for a marathon, dude. I feel like I could. He came to the States, whatever, not this country. He was in Hawaii. Is that so? Snook just saying, and there's countless people who do all the right things and don't make it. Does that help encourage you? Like, that's the difference in, like, literally everyone else in chat. Like, just being like, think positively. Don't have your response be, well, there's a lot of people who don't make it. Yeah, I've not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that don't work. Exactly. Yeah, how many visas in the States has a bad reputation in world life for violence and gun violence? No. Texas doesn't have gun violence. Chicago has gun violence. Chicago's like the Wild West. There's like gunfights in the street. Texas, more people have guns, so there's less than like in Chicago. Well, there's less kind of inner city gang problems. Yeah, you're not going to get shot if you go to Texas. You do have a chance of getting shot if you go to Chicago, though. Oh, 11 by 9. That was good. I wish I could push more. Yeah, where the cops didn't go in. That was good. All right. Yeah, just find a school that has better security protocols. Our schools are great. Their doors are always locked and they've got security. Well, the police come around a couple times a week. And then there's also security monitors. Nuke! It sounds like all you do is make a con list. And I feel like you put it on the world, like, this is why this isn't going to work, because the world. Because Canada's hard, because inflation, because I'm not old like you. Turn that around. All right. This has been rad. I like this. Let's continue this tomorrow. You said surgery on your foot. Think I should do the cup. Ooh. Dude, that's tough. You probably have to wait until it's healed enough so you can actually get some blood pressure up, right? But then once you can, you should be able to do some upper body training. You know, you probably got to wait till you can do anything with the feet. All right. I got to raid and run. No, I want us all to move forward together in a positive way. Like, I think you can do it too. And certainly sharing about it can be helpful, but there's an inflection point where, oh, you're not watching me. Here we go. There's an inflection point where it's not sharing anymore and it's just, you know, defeatism, and we don't want that. So we just want to be positive and encouraging, and like, honestly, I think you're very intelligent, you're very driven, you have the right motives, you know, to support yourself and your family and your enjoyment of your life. And the only thing stopping you is that brain that says, well, I can't because the world and Canada and inflation and this and that and this and that and this, instead of saying, I can do this, you know? Yeah, so, all right, I gotta run. Time to go, time to fly. Thanks so much for hanging out, everyone. Thanks for that discussion. And yeah, let's have a great day, everyone. Snook, I hope yours can be awesome, that there's some positivity that you found, that you can find some more positivity today, and keep working for that awesome family, your awesome marriage, your awesome child, your awesome hobbies and fun stuff. And thanks for being here. I appreciate you. And Trenton, Seltzy, Tabs, Zach, all the friends for hanging. You guys are awesome. This is probably my favorite day this week. Even though we're coming at things from different perspectives, like having a good engaged discussion is awesome. And thanks, Trenton, for the reminder. We are Legion sponsored, so please do check them out for your supplement needs. They often have sales going on. I don't think we have one right now, but if you use code BitLife at checkout, you get 20% off your first order and double reward points, and it's always awesome. Let them know we sent you. It's a way to support the channel in your normal way. So yeah, and they got some other ones that are like Dutch chocolates, 20% off. Dutch chocolate whey is pretty good. So check that out, code BitLife at checkout. Thanks for hanging and playing. You guys have a great Friday. We'll catch you tomorrow. Do good, be great. See you next time. Sayonara, bye.